start streaming on YouTube as well, so the entire stream is recorded. And yeah, I think we should be ready. Alright, so what happened during the London session? We had a Asia consolidation, and then we rated the low, and then we rated the high. I went long based on this bullish fair value gap right here, paired with the VWAP. But yeah, we retraced further than I expected, and I got rid of most of my positions right here. I had my stop right here at the London session low. Didn't get hit, so I managed to get rid of most of my positions. And really what happened today, I do not want to draw it up, so I'm simply gonna use Discord here because all of my trades I share on Discord today as well. Tape reading. Right here, so here initially I went long. Didn't play out, but I got rid of my positions at break even. And yeah, then we had this setup right here. I shared it inside trade ideas. Go up, go up, go up. I already entered right here on that order block once I saw this candle, yeah, to drop. Basically what happened here is we cleared Asia buy side and sell side. We trapped long traders with this pullback. Always making it like, yeah, popping up a little, but every time we popped up, we immediately got rejected. I was part of these trapped long traders. And down here we had another tiny little market structure shift, but all it turned out to be was, yeah, a pullback back into premium. Cleared a short-term high, so this would have been your turtle soup entry. Then we rejected again, left behind this bearish order block paired with a bearish fair value gap. That's why I entered. I took my first partial right here on all these equal lows. So basically once I saw that we managed to get so super close to the London session low, then we rejected. This was the sign for me that we engineered liquidity down here. Make it look like we actually gonna go long, shift market structure. But all we did really was just clear some, yeah, lower time frame highs inside the premium PD array to run for sell side eventually. I took my first partial here, and my second partial I took down here. Right here I took that first partial, and then we continued to drop very aggressively because we had enough long traders trapped. Yeah, and then we had our take profit target, the previous day's low, previous week's low. And my outlook for today, I also already shared it, is maybe, I'm not sure if it's going to happen because we have a Monday without news. On Wednesday we have FOMC. But what I could see play out right here based on this daily template is that we had Asia, London, accumulation, early New York session, manipulation, and maybe expansion into buy side. Because every time we clear external liquidity, we like to pull back. So we cleared external, we cleared the previous day, previous week's low. We cleared the low of Friday the 8th of September, and down here we also have the low of the month. So maybe we clear this before actually pulling back, or we leave it in place for FOMC on Wednesday. On NQ we can actually see that we cleared the low of the month down here, low of the current September monthly candle. So we had a new low of the month. So yeah, curious to see what's going to play out. And now let's open up the chat and see what we can work with today. Alright, let me full screen. DXY master template. So here on DXY, the US dollar index, we are on a 1 hour chart. If we go up to a higher time frame and get rid of the power of 3 indicators here quickly, you can see that we have a daily fair value gap down here. So we could potentially retrace into that over the course of today and tomorrow maybe, which could lead for higher prices on ES, and then bounce, which could, yeah, I already shared that in my weekly outlook. The weekly outlook this time not in video format, but on our Discord server right here under the ICT-Concepts section. Weekly outlook. We can go over that as well at the beginning of the stream. Right here on a monthly chart, a weekly chart, we can see this is not looking super bullish. We have a bearish order block sitting right here. We rejected from that. So there really are two scenarios. We either continue lower to clear sell side and fill this daily fair value gap, volume imbalance, or right here. So this would be the bearish scenario for FOMC. We clear previous week's low. We already done that. We pull back inside of these discounts on FOMC during the London session. Asia, we do some sort of seek and destroy. Then at 2 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. we accelerate lower into our weekly objectives. So it's either going to be this, or yeah, we continue higher to fill the new day opening gap up here, fill in this entire bearish fair value gap on the daily chart on NQ. And yeah, pretty much the same goes for ES. So on ES, similar setup. We either go for weekly sell side, fair value gap, but it's a little bit messy. And another thing I want to point out is that on a weekly chart right here on both ES and NQ, we have two inside bars. So that's our second inside bar on a weekly chart, which means on a daily we saw consolidation, and usually after consolidation, here we have expansion, reversal, consolidation, expansion. That's usually how it goes. Or yeah, also expansion to the upside. But yeah, we will have to wait for confirmation on that. For the XY, I also already shared the analysis. We have a monthly fair value gap below us. We filled it, and since then we've been pretty bullish. Monthly fair value gap above us. The target is really 106 on the DXY. We have a daily fair value gap. We keep holding support, so I'd expect this target to be hit sooner or later, maybe with the power of FOMC. Here zoomed in, retrace into the daily fair value gap, continue higher. And that's basically what we see right now on DXY. We have this bullish order block, a daily breaker. We already bounced off that to, yeah, deliver up higher. Now we have a bullish daily fair value gap paired with this order block to maybe clear 105.882. And if I zoom out, that's what it's all looking like. And also what we can see is that we build some sort of trend line liquidity, and usually when we do that we can see a low resistance liquidity run, like right here. Build some sort of trend line liquidity, put higher lows in place for them to be run very efficiently, very quickly. And looking at the COT data report, we can see that that commercial traders are starting to build a short position on DXY as well. So they're starting to acquire more shorts, and it's lining up with this here as well. So yeah, I think that should be it. So if we go back to the hourly, our daily fair value gap, let's retrace that. We have this order block, and so far today all we did was consolidate. Maybe we'll touch the daily fair value gap before continuing higher, but it's just Monday and we're getting started for the week. Alright, NQ, like said, hit the previous day week low of month. And once we cleared that major sell side, we could see a pullback into internal buy side, into all these discounts, and then maybe during FOMC we find ourselves somewhere up here and continue lower. Yeah, and the power of free concept: accumulation, manipulation, expansion to the upside. That's the idea. I would wait for 9:30 pretty much. Yeah, I would wait for 9:30 for more confirmation. I'm not a fan of blindly going long in here. We can check out ES as well. We have our 8:30 open. This is the current daily candle. I'm using the 2 degrees higher time frame power of free indicator. This one right here. I also shared it on Discord. Always good to be aware higher time frame candle looks like. So we see we start to put higher lows in place right here. We can go to a 15-minute chart. Very aggressive sell-off, so I'd like to see some proper confirmation that we might actually gravitate towards these equal highs at the Asian session high. Here on ES, we only went one tick above the Asian session high during London. Then we continued to consolidate, and right here we had a confirmation for the move lower. So that's our London session low. Let's write this up. Keep it short. London session low. We have the 8:30 opening, we have midnight above us. We pretty much spent the entire day below midnight, which could confirm a power of three concept. 8:30 opening, we have a bullish fair value gap right here. And seems to me like we're respecting it so far. Right now, our next area of interest is this bearish fair value gap here on the 5. If we manage to close above it, I could see us reprice even higher. We already used this bearish fair value gap after closing above it as support for the inversion fair value gap. Same goes for this fair value gap right here. We close above it. Yes, we reprice into the lower one, but this one kept holding. We didn't close below it again. And yeah, we started to put higher highs in place and higher lows. So for the power of 3 to play out, what we would like to see is a sharp reversal back up. But let's play it cool. We can draw up our premium and discount. Should be the other way around. We could also, so if we do not expand higher today, what we could see is potentially a retrace into discounts for shorts or a premium and continue lower to maybe the low of the month sell side. But we already cleared that on NQ, so I'm gonna hold back and keep in mind it's just Monday, beginning of the week. Play it slow, play it cool. We have FOMC midweek. The best trading opportunities will likely come on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because we have news on the calendar as well. Bullish fair value gap, volume imbalance, accumulation, manipulation. Yeah, I like it. I like it. But I'm not certain that the low is in place just yet. That's why I want to wait for the 9:30 open before I take any longs. Let's also draw up our premium and discount PD array here for the 5-minute time frame. So this is our current daily range. You can see that. That's a representation of the daily candle right here, ticking up and down. We're below midnight. Let me actually reload the tab. So midnight's expanded out further to the right. 8:30 opening. Look where it's matching up here on NQ, exactly at the previous day's low and previous week's low. That's interesting. Right here, 8:30 open. Boom. And we might see the continuation higher from here. And now it's time to pull up Discord again. Thank you, FL Trader. I spent a lot of time on the weekend studying more ICT concepts, getting deeper and deeper. especially working on my higher time frame analysis, because that's where it really comes down to. My draw on liquidity on ES for today was the previous day's low, previous week's low. Initially it looked like we might want to go for buy side right here with this market structure shift after having swept the Asia session equal lows, but didn't play out. It was a trap. They made it look like it, but it didn't happen, so yeah, that's alright. And I still managed to catch the, I don't know, 10 handle drop. I entered right here of this fair value gap and had a market short right here. I targeted this, yeah, so 7.8 handles, 8 points on ES this morning. What is the time? It's 8:40. Do you guys have any questions? Maybe let's start with that, because yeah, I'm not too interested into a opportunity taking any trades just yet. Here's our 50% level of today's daily range. I don't know, these higher lows, they're just like usually when we have the power of free concept, or these accumulation, manipulation, distribution to the upside, we go up much quicker. We have all these discounts here to the left, and we start to put in place sort of a trend line, which yeah, usually gets stop hunted very quickly. I also learned that on the weekend it's a good practice. Let me maybe I can find an example for you guys here quickly. So usually when we have trend lines, difference between high resistance and low resistance liquidity runs are usually we bounce up, high resistance, we move up very slowly, and then eventually we break right here at 8 AM, retest, and then we accelerate lower, taking out all these lows, all these stop levels very quickly. And that was Friday. Another example for trendline liquidity would be right here, quick pump up and dump down. These are all bearish scenarios. Let me find a good bullish one. Can't see to find one right now being zoomed out like this. But usually the difference between a high and low resistance liquidity run is once we work our way up, we form all these pullbacks, put higher lows and higher highs in place. Maybe sometime we fake people out but still continue higher. But we can see some sort of trend line that's building up. Let me draw it like this. And usually the difference between, or how you can, maybe a little tip how you can spot or the potential for a low resistance liquidity run is usually if you have a trend line, because then what's happening is market structure shift, pullback, and a very quick stop hunt here to basically stop out all these buyers right here. And buyers right here, because they want to protect their position, they're selling their buy orders then, which is just, yeah, adding even more fuel to the short side, because, yeah, they are selling, market makers are selling as well, and it's just accelerating this entire expansion down. So trend line, all longs, they eventually try to get out at break even at least, so they're selling their long positions, which is accelerating this move to the downside. Hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions about this, feel free to ask me. I never got my data point to line with power of 3 indicators. I mean, we can check. Right now we're on the 5-minute time frame. We have the low of the day right here. We have the high of the daily candle right here. And yeah, closing price. Yep. So that should all be lining up. You can even use the New York midnight as your anchor point. Then we see since New York midnight all we did was drop pretty much. I shared the indicator on Discord as well. I think it's pretty helpful. Session Pro is turned on. What's that? Better, much cleaner. So we keep on pushing higher on NQ. Looks like we're doing the same thing on ES here. We kept holding support on that 830 open level right here. I can also share my template here quickly on Discord if you guys want to copy it. All you have to do is click on that link and it will take you to your internet browser, and then you see the same chart as I do right now, and then you click on Save Indicator Template, you name it, and then if you open your trading view and you refresh your chart up here and you open up the indicator template section, you should see that copy you made, and then you can use my template. I lost last Friday, I think I lost my old template. I didn't save it properly, and I had to, on Saturday I had to do my entire template again, and I thought, yeah, maybe I want to change things up and use a new week opening gap indicator, for example, right here. That's a new day opening gap. We kept holding support until we didn't. Instead of drawing everything up manually, storing it right down here inside my object tree. We're pushing up. Nice. So we're almost back at the opening price of the daily candle right here at 15,382 on NQ and 4499.5 on ES here. So I'm really interested to see what's happening if we hit the premium of this entire daily range. Yes, you could have entered here already. I could have too, but I've just came out of the short position. I was pretty happy that I called it after initially taking the long right here. We have the idea in our mind that we could potentially seek buy side here today throughout maybe the AM session, move from external liquidity back to internal. DXY is pushing up as well, as we can see. So yeah, guys, do you have any questions? Something you want me to look up, or? Because I'm gonna play it slow until New York open. Did we hit premium or not? But I'm gonna set an alert for that. UCOB 915, 1645, 15. Let me check that out here quickly. We also have a breaker block. If we look at this price structure, we have the Asian session consolidation. We formed a low, a higher high, and a lower low. So the lowest down closing candle, which we initially used as order block to support price here, failed. So we could look at this as our breaker block now. bearish breaker block for continuation lower. If we manage to break above it, that would really be the invalidation for shorts. In my opinion, I can draw up the same one on Nasdaq because we had the same thing play out. We could look at this entire range. I'm just going to look at the lowest one right here. It's gonna be the breaker block. Alright, let me check that out. I had the same issue at the beginning when I first learned about breaker blocks. But the way I remembered it, it's simply support that has turned into resistance. So right here we would have expected support to continue up higher. So we can look at this entire price leg theoretically as old support. Right here we would have initially expected continuation higher from here. Didn't happen. We closed below it. So now old support turned into resistance and we see lower prices. And usually we look at that last price leg before we made that higher high and before we broke it. So we look at that last swing to the downside on a bearish scenario. And we can either place it at the lowest down closing candle or if we have, let's say, for example, 3 consecutive down closing candles, we can also look at this entire block. Because then very likely it's also going to line up with the 15-minute. What do I mean? So if we go now to the 15, we look for the lowest down closing candle inside this price leg. Yeah, we could sort of use these two, but I prefer the 5-minute here. It looks much cleaner. We had this move to the downside. We look at the lowest down closing candle. We made this lower low, higher high, lower low. Hope that makes sense. I can also draw it up. So we moved from the Asian session high, made a lower low, higher high. So initially we would have expected support to continue higher. We didn't do that, we broke below. So now we would expect resistance right here, maybe around the VWAP to continue lower. So we just got rejected. Yeah, and a mitigation block would be, I don't want to make it too complicated, but we form higher highs and higher lows, and then we fail to make a higher high and go lower, then this would become our mitigation block. Also old support that failed turned into resistance. And yeah, usually it always looks like the YouTube model where we form higher highs and higher lows, clear a higher time frame point of interest, shift market structure and continue lower, and then we just look at the lowest section of that last move to the upside. So before we had this last push to make a higher high, we look at this last leg down, old support, turn into resistance. Here the support kept holding price, not a breaker block. We kept on going higher, and here the support failed, flipped into resistance, and same thing for the inversion. So if we make lower lows and lower highs, we break the most recent lower high, pull back, hold support, continue up higher. Doesn't always look that clean, so it's tough to find in some cases, like for example today. Not super clean price action, but yeah, still acceptable. Go back to ES, still holding support. Yeah, or you could look at it like this. So 15-minute chart, 11:15. So this would be the next order block we would have if we would push towards this buy side. Yeah, we will see if we continue on ES towards the low of month. This would be the easy continuation setup. maybe we have a higher retracement into some sort of premium above 4497 on the ES and above 15379.75 on NQ. I already have my alerts set. If we look for shorts, ideally we get them inside a premium to continue lower. So this is going to be very interesting if we actually flip to clear buy side or if we continue lower. Let's see what the XY is doing. The XY is pushing. You can also see some sort of a trend line that's being put in place. We have hourly equal lows, almost equal. We cleared it, but still relatively speaking equal lows. We have this daily fair value gap below us. So what we could see play out right here is the same thing. Consolidation or accumulation, manipulation, expansion towards the buy side liquidity target on a higher time frame perspective. Maybe using this daily fair value gap paired with the order block here on the daily time frame. Let me show that again in case you missed the beginning of the live stream. Order block, no wick to the upside, bounced off a daily breaker block. Question, why is this a breaker block? FL trader. Why is this up closing candle right here a bullish breaker block? I mean, the answer is already on the chart because we cleared this sell side liquidity here. So we kept on putting higher lows and higher highs in place. Higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, higher high. So we look at our highest up closing candle, breaker block. We retrace into it, paired with a daily fair value gap, continued higher. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, resistance, turn support, exactly. Maybe don't explain it like that to very hardcore ICT fans. They're gonna start crying because yeah, ICT is not using support and resistance. But that's my easy way of looking at it. I also talked with a old friend of mine. He's also trading, but he's yeah, they will come after you and they're gonna hate you. I talked to him about ICT-Concepts. He's simply a EMA pullback trader, keeping it very, very simple, but he's super interested in all that ICT stuff. So we had a little session or a call over the weekend. Then I showed him my favorite ICT model and I started to draw this. Higher highs, higher lows. He said, yeah, all right, I understand. Last higher high, market structure shift, like right here. We pull back and we continue lower. And he's like, that's a head and shoulders setup. I'm like, yeah, I know it is sort of, but it's more precise than that. But yeah, essentially it's still a head and shoulders setup if you think about it. If you don't know what a head and shoulders setup is, maybe go back and do some learning about classical charting patterns. They're very good and they still work. You can even combine it with ICT. There's no shame in that, absolutely. We have our left shoulder. Might have to change the color on that. With our left shoulder, we have our head, and we have our right shoulder, and we continue lower. Very simple. Different traders or all traders look at it in a different perspective. Some people see a head and shoulders, some people see a YouTube model or 2022 mentorship setup. Some people look at old resistance, old support, or like that friend, he's looking at a EMA. Maybe that EMA is looking something like this. Bounce off the EMA. And then once we close below, we hold resistance, continue lower. There's no wrongdoing. It's just what you prefer or how you like to look at the market from what perspective. So now we're starting to consolidate here. It's 9 AM, so a new hourly candle opened up. Let's play it slowly. Check out DXY. DXY might be breaking the trend line. Nice, well done, Agent Smith. Making that money. We can take a look at GC, the gold futures contract. Let me duplicate my Nasdaq tab. No, do I want to do that? No, I want to create a new chart. I do not want to mess with my templates again. Get rid of that. GC, gold futures. Rename. Alright, now we can slowly add our indicators, get rid of YM. Use the power of 3. It's not going to be super helpful to have both of these on, because I want to see the weekly and daily candle form using this power of 3 indicator, and yeah, on Monday that's gonna look exactly the same. So let's see, go to a daily time frame. We're inside this daily PD array. Premium discount, we're now further into discount. We swept buy side right here, started to retrace. We could see a bounce of these fair value gaps. Swept internal. Bullish reaction. Let me check out the 4 hour. Think we could go for buy side. Maybe this could be the draw on liquidity. We have all these highs left in place. 1 hour chart. Failure swing. We failed to move above this high. Went lower, filled the 1 hour bearish fair value gap and continued lower. So if we check out the 15, we see exactly that. We had the failure swing. We failed to break above 1952.4 on gold. Right here we had the opportunity. We did that off a discount. So we failed. We continued lower, filled in the inefficiencies. 5-minute chart. Where can we spot accumulation? Sort of went sideways here, manipulated down. But we left these equal lows behind, perfect equal lows. So still potential for more downside on gold. Also here. So maybe we could see some sort of internal sell side being swept to fill these lower discounts before we go back up to external. Just a thought, of course, not financial advice. We still consolidate here on NQ. What's the time? It's 9:05, so the New York Open is coming up in 25 minutes. Accumulation, expansion, reversal, accumulation, expansion. Yeah, let's just see. Awesome, we have 12 people on Discord joining who have joined the live stream. I won't be streaming tomorrow or on FOMC. I still want to also trade on my own a little bit and practice and just test things, see what works, what doesn't work, and learn for myself. It's tough, talking, trading, doing analysis and all that stuff at the same time. But sometimes it also helps, so that's the confliction. Because you can't do stupid shit while you're on stream. So let's see. What are your thoughts for the New York Open? Share it in the chat. Then we have something to talk about. I could see both longs and shorts at this point in time. Daily bias. Oh. Hang on, let me do this quickly. So we don't have messy charts, Monday analysis. I'm gonna hide all of that and get rid of the power of 3 indicator. And then we take it up to the daily time frame, see what we're working with. And then we can turn on our weekly outlook. Where's it gone? There. So we cleared that previous week's low, daily analysis. So now we have clean daily charts. I feel we consolidate Monday and Tuesday, and expansion FOMC was hoping they took sell side, and we stated and finishing higher Friday. Alright, interesting. Right now I'm still 50-50 for me if we continue higher from here, or if we maybe go lower. Watched a interesting video. Let me go to the weekly here quickly and get rid of my daily analysis. So right now we're in heavy premium. If we look at the entire yearly range from low to high, we cleared buy side liquidity. We have the weekly order block on NQ, or now the monthly order block right here. We're inside of that right now. We could refine it to the highest up closing candle. And what we can also see is that we have some sort of trend line liquidity here. We had the same thing here during the entire year of 2021. I don't know. Just want to put it out there. I think the easiest trade for Monday was the short into or the sell side. We will see what the New York Open will do, especially since we have already cleared that prior to the New York Open. So yeah, the best option I think for us would be to wait until the market shows its hand and then participate. Go back to the lower time frames. Broke back below the 830. Hang on. Four, 4, 8, 2 equal lows. Oh, yeah. And we also have the low of the month here, right here, Thursday, 7th of September. That should be, yep, the low of the current monthly candle. So if we would go up to the higher time frame, this would be September low, and we have another low. I missed that. I didn't go back so far. But yeah, we have relative equal lows right down at 4482. There we go. And we could potentially sweep that. Yeah. Continue lower and then maybe pull back. I don't think that we're gonna leave all these 4-hour inefficiencies left behind. Like every time we have these big drops, we tend to fill them, right? Like right here, 2 big 4-hour fair value gaps. Displacement on the 4-hour time frame, we fill them. So right here we had Friday, Monday, Tuesday we continued lower. Right here, and now we have the same scenario again. But yeah, looking at a 4-hour chart, keep in mind that Nasdaq already cleared the low of the month. I don't know, tricky. But this would be the next target to the downside. So if we get any confirmation for a entry short, 4482, 4483, somewhere around this area, I would take my profits. Perfect. Today's range, or London session range, we moved 20 points. That's not too much. What time is it? 8:15. We swept lows right here. Now we seem to be getting a strong pushback up, so next buy side target, if we continue up higher, would be this high, which also lines up with the premium right here of today's daily dealing range. Most of the time we like to pull back to the VWAP. Do that very oftenly. So if we clear a short-term low here, we could have a potential order block right here. No wick to the upside, cleared sell side liquidity, so we made a low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We broke that structure. With this down closing candle right here, we had all these equal lows and these two equal lows. And yeah, quickly picked up stops. Or like Agent Smith said it once, like the reference, picking up some fuel to continue the, on the road ahead. So this could be a potential long setup of the order block. And this could become a breakaway fair value gap, but 5 handles to this breaker block. I wouldn't take it because of the New York Open. Prefer to stay out unless we get a very, very obvious YouTube model or 2022 model. But this could be in play. Let's see if we can close above. Leave some structure behind. On NQ, we also cleared these lows right here. Set of higher lows. Higher low. Higher low. Higher high. Lower low. And if we now form a higher high, we would have a mini breaker block right here inside of this structure, so we could use that maybe if we manage to get above it to hold support to deliver, maybe towards that midnight and fulfill the power of free setup. But I'd wait for confirmation. What do you guys think about this potential long higher? Let me open up the chat. What did ICT tweet? I didn't even check it yet. Let me... No, I'm not gonna look at it. I don't care. He's targeting lower prices. Oh yeah, that was that one. NQ 15300. So down here, let's see what we can work with. Higher time frame. This inefficiency right here. We already traded inside of it, cleared the low of the month. Yeah, maybe we just fill this hourly fair value gap, this bearish one, to continue lower. So as long as we're inside of this, it's could be tough to take a short position, a long position. Daily even. Oh yeah. I mean, he's the master, of course. Daily inversion fair value gap. Yes, it would make it an inversion. But on ES, I think we already close below on the daily. If we take a close look. Did we? Nah, but we got close to it. But we had something similar right here. We had this bearish fair value gap. We closed above it. We expected support and we went all the way down to here. So I wouldn't look for the super precision on the daily time frame that we normally see on like the 5 or 1 minute time frame. So I'd play that cool. $9.20. Yeah, now that he said that, I won't enter because I'd be so mad if I'd faded him and was wrong. Yeah, fair enough. Fair point. We will see what the New York Open does, and then we can see if it aligns with ICT's targets, if we get a push up into premium and then start a strong rejection. I think it should be easy to get 5 or 10 points on either one of the indices today. So we already have equal highs. Let me get rid of this fair value gap and this one as well. That's the previous day low, previous week's low. We cleared that sell side. Come on. Thanks for the reminder. Regular trading hours opening gap. We closed right here on Friday at 4502. We can see that the DXY rejected the trend line and is pushing lower. So 4502 electronic trading hours, 4502. Depending where we open up. So ES just hit premium. Market structure shift bullish. After sweeping lows, taking out stops. Bullish breaker block, bearish breaker block, premium. Very tough one. I wouldn't use high risk on this trade, especially because it's out of the New York Open. 23. Five minute. 3 minute. Oh yeah, that's why I drew it up. That's why I saw this order block with no wick to the upside on the 5 minute. Yes. Too conflicting for my liking right now. So I'm gonna sit out and wait and see what the New York Open does. We could get a optimum trade entry like Freshkey says, so a pump up into our London breaker block, London session low, VWAP, optimum trade entry and premium to continue lower, or we completely eject that and continue to rally into buy side. Both is possible really. Starting to see SMT between ES and NQ. ES made a higher high while NQ didn't. DXY is starting to reject, which could lead for a possible move up on ES and NQ. Come on. Why is it doing that to me? The more you zoom in, the harder it gets. But it should be fine like this. I don't want to have these tags in the middle, otherwise they'd be all the way over here. But I also do not want them directly next to the candles, because usually that last bit is cut off then, so yeah, bit of a tough one. NQ, bullish fair value gap right here, holding on the 830 level. We didn't close above this high yet on the 5 minute, but we have the same bullish fair value gap here on ES. No, I don't like this. I think it's gonna go long, gun to my head. And then we maybe get a Tudor swing up, like Freshkey said, and then we reverse further to the downside to clear sell side. But you don't want to make a decision right at equilibrium of the entire daily range so far. If we would get a YouTube model or a 2022 mentorship setup down here somewhere, yes, after having cleared major sell side, that'd be a long I'd take. Or if we would already be up here for a premium short, but we're just hanging around that 50% level, usually not on NQ, but we already have a small SMT here. We're not even in premium yet. I think it's best to not participate just yet, and it's also Chess Monday. Is anyone trying to predict the New York Open with a position? Stupid desk. NQ. Bearish SMT. 2 minutes until New York Open. So let's see. Paper trade idea. Long of the previous day's low, previous week low. Stop loss 1 tick below right here. Target midnight. H pattern. Ah, I see. No, that's an H pattern. Interesting. Never looked at it this way. Let's see, 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. We just bounce off that 830. On NQ we are below it. DXY rejected. One minute to go. Thirty seconds to go. SMT divergence between NQ and ES, sell side below us, previous month's low down here. And let's see, I'm gonna stick to the 5. I don't think I will be dropping down to the 1 minute during the live stream on Monday. Okay, New York Open, let's see. That's a paper trade idea, see if it holds up. Flip over to NQ here. We'll see. Super glad I'm not in this trade at the moment. This could, immediately flip, of course. Yep, no, I would be excited if I would be in the trade. But let's wait. Some indecision at the open NQ. Did NQ clear? So NQ cleared this short-term low right here. 15,343.5. ES didn't clear that low. And now NQ is already starting to move to the upside. I'm not gonna jump in here, that's not what I like to do. But we have bullish SMT between ES and NQ, which could potentially fuel the move to the upside. NQ just hit premium, or 50% of the dealing range. Right here, about to hit the VWAP. ES is lacking behind. Let's see. Anyone in a position at this point in time? Clear short-term low, push up. So here we have our 50%. ES still in indecision. Yes, Tony, I definitely agree. NQ is pushing strongly. ES is still indecisive. NQ very strong here after having swept, so we would expect ES to follow to fill the retail trading hour, regular trading hours opening gap right here. So 9:30 open up down here. This is our gap to put it in perspective. Perfectly aligned with the breaker block right here. And here is ES following up with NQ. Strong push. Check out the daily candle on NQ. The low might be locked in now. AS seems to be following. So let's see what we do around this breaker block, and also keep on watching NQ. I want to hit my or set up alerts. Yep, we would have been right, but that's okay. I mean, still wouldn't have been a fan of participating here. I mean, that was the entire idea based on power of 3. That we get a expansion to the upside after the manipulation to the downside to clear equal high buy side between London and Asia. We only ticked above the Asian session buy side. But let's see, I'm still not super in for the longs. But yeah, NQ is very strong. So only as we're now inside the London low area, inside a premium, inside a 5-minute breaker block. We could expand the breaker block to this candle's high right here. Consecutive down closing candles. Idea would have been correct so far. 5 handles would have been hit already. 2.75 handles. NQ is now already at the midnight level. Yeah, I think we're gonna fulfill the power of 3 setup. I think buy side on NQ is next. And ES should follow. That's a daily candle right now. Looking like a doji. The low might have been put in place. NQ about to clear the high of the day. Measure from high to low and put up the ICT fib retracement. So right here we can see we are inside the golden pocket optimum trade entry. That red line is the optimum trade entry, the 70.5 retracement, lining up perfectly with the breaker block. We've almost filled in the entire regular trading hours opening gap. The opening or the close of the candle right here for the regular trading hours was right here at the high of this 5-minute breaker block. NQ about to clear buy side. And there goes buy side on NQ. And we continue to expand. So we could have potential SMT divergence. We have some sort of a perfect trend line. All these highs match up perfectly. Let me refine it like this. We filled in the entire regular trading hours opening gap here on ES. NQ broke the high of the day. Completed the power of 3. The next buy side target for NQ would be at 468. If we want to continue higher on ES, we're still holding resistance. We filled in the entire regular trading hours opening gap. Right here, there's no gap anymore. We closed here, we open up down here. Did we? Yeah. We filled it in. Close, open, filled it in perfectly, and now we're starting to reject. So let's go back to electronic trading hours. 1 minute time frame. NQ, let's see how it's going to close. We have a discount paired with the VWAP, but yeah, be rushing into an entry. Let's wait for this 5-minute candle to close. If you guys have any ideas you'd like to share, feel free to do so. The power of 3 concept is we have accumulation during London and Asia today. Then we saw this explosive move to the downside, trapping longs initially right here with this market structure shift. We had this manipulation to the downside, clearing external liquidity. And based on that, we think about how the daily candle is looking like. So we have accumulation, manipulation, and from here then expansion to the upside. So the daily candle would look something like this. We just look at the lower time frames with, trying to picture or using an indicator of what the daily candle is looking like and what sort of daily template we could be forming. Hope that makes sense. I explained it, or maybe make a video about it, might be helpful. NQ close below midnight, so we have SMT divergence at the moment because the S didn't clear buy side. Yes, accumulation, manipulation, distribution by the structure of the current daily candle. How we can anticipate what New York session or kill zone is likely to do. 1 minute time frame. So let's see what we do inside this fair value gap. NQ looks like a liquidity run. So just a run on stops with this huge wick even closing below the midnight level. ES didn't make it up here, so here we have that SMT divergence. Still be, I don't know, shorting this with a perfect trend line above us. Wouldn't feel confident doing that. But this is what I would consider as a sweep. Get rid of this, that's super annoying. Alright, looks like we're rejecting here on ES. I would feel more inclined to short NQ based on that because it swept liquidity actually. I mean, we could look at the 1 minute time frame maybe. Higher high, higher low, higher high. So we look for the lowest down closing candle right here as our 1 minute breaker block. We close below it. I try that. NQ didn't clear the previous month low. Let's see, it's a 1 minute time frame entry. We have a breaker block. Let's see, 5 minute chart. This candle is going to close in 1 minute. We filled the regular trading hours opening gap. NQ looks like a sweep. We have SMT divergence. We could still be continuing higher, really. That's why I'm only entering with one contract here. Wait for the 5 minute candle to close.
Order filled.
Let's see how this plays out. Market structure shift on the 1 minute. Let's see if we retrace and hold resistance, but we stick to the 5 here. Alright, so we close below this bullish fair value gap and this bullish fair value gap, so now we have two inversion fair value gaps. We kept holding this London session breaker block. We filled the regular trading hours opening gap. The only thing I don't like is this trend line liquidity. But I don't know, it's worth a try. Check out NQ. NQ kept holding support on VWAP and the flip breaker. Like I said, we could easily continue higher on both charts and easily continue lower. I like the short idea more at this point in time. Here we have that 1 minute bearish fair value gap after the market structure shift paired with the 1 minute breaker block. SMT with NQ. Can check out NQ 1 minute time frame. Go back to the 5 minute. Not that helpful. So let's see, the first targets would be these lows. Yeah, I'm not trying to short NQ, I'm focusing on ES now. Lows, lows, lows. Sell side, sell side, sell side. Check out some different time frames. Maybe we get more 3 minute. Almost immediate rebalance. We have a bearish fair value gap up here. Sell side, external sell side. Now let's just see how it goes. 6.5 handle target. I think if we break this low with the SMT divergence, we will see. I do a trailing stop loss. See how we go. Wait for that first sell side being swept. I guess stopping out longs is the easiest thing to do right now for ES. Nice FL trader, well done. Let me give you that funded trader role. Let's go. If you're funded as well and you want that funded trader Discord role, just send me the certificate and I add it. Rejection wick here on NQ. Not liking that. 5 minute. That's the 1 minute breaker block. We already tapped this inversion fair value gap. And well, we could look at this as maybe an order block, but I think that's far-fetched. Sell side, sell side, sell side. Yeah, the only thing I don't like is this trend line liquidity. But maybe we run sell side before we maybe move up. NQ is pushing. The 1 minute fair value gap kept on holding with the premium discount. So I'm going to be careful with ES here. Going to monitor the 1 minute and see what it's going to do. I don't like that NQ is moving up and I'm in a short. Well, we will see. Strong rejection here, but we're still sort of holding resistance on that midnight level. Break of structure here on NQ. NQ continues to push, holding support on this big 5 minute discount. Let's see if ES just did a quick run on stops after this pump to the upside to know also clear this trend line liquidity. I'm still gonna hold my short, I think, because we have a bearish 5-minute fair value gap. This would be my area of invalidation. Trying to stick to the 5 here. We just tapped into this 5-minute bearish fair value gap. NQ is pushing for a higher high. Let's wait for this candle to close. SMT is pretty strong here, and usually it's not a good sign if indices do something completely different. Like I said, we have this perfect trend line liquidity that we could use for a quick run up on ES. Going to set my alert, which is very likely going to be triggered sooner or later. I think ES wants to follow NQ here. Sort of a balanced price range as well. Inversion fair value gap, bearish fair value gap. Now we're back at the VWAP. So if we manage to close above this bearish fair value gap, I'm going to close the trade, placing my stop loss up here for now. Check out the 1 minute here. Didn't even manage to clear this low here on ES. Volume point of control is down here on ES. Gonna keep that on the chart. So let's see how this 5-minute candle is going to close, if it's respecting all these discounts. To continue lower. I like the rejection. Keep in mind that's the volume point of control for the entire daily candle. 15 seconds to go. 1 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute bullish fair value gap. Yeah, I would agree with that. So let's see, nice rejection here on ES. Let's check out NQ. NQ once again was held down on the 5-minute time frame at the midnight level. So we might still be fine here with our short. So if we break structure here now, I'm going to trail my stop to this short-term high. $15-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute. Okay. Everything above the, here we have a bullish fair value gap. So if we continue higher on NAS, we're gonna do it very likely from this area. Bullish fair value gap paired with midnight. If we do not hold this, I think we continue lower. Go back to the 1 minute on ES. Hop, hop. I want to see this broken, this bullish fair value gap here. Because theoretically we have a tiny little fractal YouTube model in here. Lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. Pull back into discount, continuation up higher. Equal highs, volume imbalance. Watch NQ here, 5 minute, 3 minute candle, go back to the 5. So we managed to close below, but this could just be imprecision. So we filled the entire bearish fair value gap. So I'm thinking if we go back up to this area, I do not want to keep holding this short, so I'm going to place my stop at 4498. This entire bearish fair value gap, inversion fair value gap, balance price range has been delivered efficiently here on the 5 minute time frame. So if we continue lower, we should do it now. If not, I think continue up higher. So let's wait for this 5 minute candle to close. Check out DXY here. So DXY, we saw initially we had this drop down, but it started to reject now, forming a doji. This hourly candle is going to close in 1 minute. So keep that in mind. We're gonna have the 10 a.m. open in 2 minutes, which is a 1 hour opening and also the opening of a new 4 hour candle. So if we check the 4 hour candle here on NQ, we can see we had this massive rejection on the 4 hour, 1 hour, 5 minute. So while NQ is looking rather bullish, ES on the other side on the 4 hour might still have the potential to clear the low of the month. 1 hour filled that bearish fair value gap. Tricky one. What do you guys think? Fresh key, FL trader. On the fence about my short position here. Let's wait for 50 seconds. We will see what 10 a.m. is going to do. Very interested if we can close above midnight here on NQ in 30 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we didn't close above the midnight level on the 5, 15 and 1 hour time frame. Let's see what that 4 hour opening is going to do. Yep. And we just got a rejection here on NQ. This was really important, I think. So on a 4 hour we didn't close above the midnight. On a 1 hour we didn't close above the midnight. And on a 15 minute we didn't close above the midnight. Neither did we do it on a 5. I'm interested in this 1 minute bearish fair value gap. Hold on to my short or close it? What do you guys think? Still on the fence. Yeah, fair enough. Five-minute time frame. NQ. Let's see what happens. Maybe we clear these equal highs and then reject. Be patient. Head over to the DXY and NQ. Yeah, I could see us chopping for a while as well. I wait for the 5-minute close. Much less noise. If we close above this bearish fair value gap, I'm out. Stop loss above this pivot. I'd still prefer sell side, but we have this trendline liquidity here, which could be run very easily. NQ is still holding up here, so I mean, yeah, we didn't close below. We only retraced so far. Yeah. Well, I already touched it, so let's see. Honestly, I think ES is going higher. I will wait for this 5-minute candle though. Now we have equal highs here at the high of this 5-minute bearish fair value gap paired with the inversion. If we would have cleared the sell side already, I would be out of my trade, but we didn't. So I'm sort of, But we also didn't clear much buy side since New York opened up. So yeah, on ES we've been stuck in the middle. On NQ we at least cleared the high of the day, but since then all we did was consolidate. If we look at the 10 minute 9:30 opening, and then we consolidated. But I like these rejections and now a bearish volume imbalance. Let's see. Still don't like these equal highs here. But I like how we, towards the end of the 5-minute candle, we always get the rejection. Of course, it doesn't have to mean anything. 5-minute candle managed once again to close below midnight. But this could just be the accumulation before the next move up. Is anyone in a trade? Feel free to share your position in the chat. It's high risk right now. The XY is pushing up, which could... Let's see, I'm gonna watch my short position here. Don't like the equal highs. I sort of like this trendline liquidity. We'll see. Yeah, one lever at a time. I would definitely agree with that. I like that we kept on holding here. Open with a bearish volume imbalance. We can check the 1 minute here quickly. Agent Smith, where are your bookmap insights? I could really use some some confirmation or disapproval if you're active or not away from the keyboard. So we cleared this 5 minute low and this 5 minute low, and now we start to reject. Picking up some stops to run these equal highs now. Let's see how this 5 minute candle is going to close. 30 seconds left on the timer. So we picked up some stops right here. If we go to the 1 minute, right here, we didn't clear this lower low. Let's see. Wait for this 5 minute, closed right at the high. NQ managed to close above midnight. I think that's a bullish sign. And I'm going to exit my short position.
Order filled.
I think we continue up higher. We just cleared these equal highs. I could be wrong, and this was the internal liquidity it wanted to seek before it continues lower now, but I didn't like this aggressive move up after we just picked up some stops. We'll see if I made a mistake or not. Get rid of all these PD arrays for a second. I think this is major. We managed to close above midnight on a 5 minute for the first time. So let's see if we can also do it on the 15. And if ES is managing to close above this bearish fair value gap, I might try to long to get this trend line liquidity and maybe this buy side as well. Good call on closing my short. US30 made that lower low. And here comes the breakout, I say. NQ made a new higher high. And I think ES is going to catch up now. We had the opportunity to clear sell side and it didn't want to. NQ keeps on pushing higher, fulfilling that power of free setup. ES didn't yet, so I'm preferring to long ES on a good opportunity, 3 minute time frame, potential bullish fair value gap. Check out the DXY. DXY is dropping again. 1 minute. Run on stops, kept on going higher. So I like that I closed my short position. Otherwise I would have been stopped out right here. Cut risk early. Didn't like the immediate close right at the high of the fair value gap. So we've been rejected 2 times right at that high. And then on the 3rd time we got up to this level, we closed right at the high. So not a fan of this. That's why I closed the position. We might still reject from here and continue lower with even more SMT divergence on NQ. But I think this trend line liquidity is doomed to be taken. Let's see how this 5 minute candle is going to close. If we manage to close above, I might enter NQ. Cleared buy side one more time. DXY is starting to reject, which could fuel a pump. YM cleared sell side. New 5 minute candle and we left behind a doji. Signaling indecision, so we go to the lower time frame and see what we're working with, what we can work with here. Lower low, higher high. So theoretically we have a breaker block right here. But I don't want to trade on the 1 minute. I like the 3 minute more. NQ retested the midnight open. After closing above it, retest seems to be continuing higher. I like this 3 minute fair value gap here on ES for a potential entry long if we get back to that level again. DXY rejecting even more, so any long on EU should play out. Good call, Fresky. DXY continues to push lower. Can check the lower time frames, maybe see what it's up to. Nah, gonna stick to the 1 hour here. Perfect trendline liquidity here on ES, which usually signals a low resistance liquidity run to pick up all these stops into buy side. If we get our entry down here, be a 10-point move. That's really what I'm looking for. And Q keeps on pushing. Can check the lower time frames here. Kept on holding support in this bullish fair value gap after shifting structure here. Pullback, continuation. One minute to go on this 5-minute candle. Check out the 15 here quickly. Looks like we're not gonna leave behind a 5-minute fair value gap, in my opinion. So 2 minute, 1 minute. We have this, but this would likely become a breakaway gap. 2 minute. Had a fair value gap right here. We already filled that. 3 minute. We have a fair value gap here on the 3 minute. This would be the trade idea based off the 3-minute time frame. The 5-minute candle just closed, now above the fair value gap. Yeah, I'd like to get in on a retracement. I'm not going to chase. Even though we could get a quick expansion to the upside, I'm not going to jump into that. Also a 3-minute inversion fair value gap if we look at this fair value gap right here. Close above it, hold support, and now we might expand, leaving this as a breakaway gap. So now we're touching this trend line, we're above it. We'd expect ES to quickly run up to buy side. Even without us, that's fine. That happens. NQ making a new higher high. DXY continuing to sell off. So this be interesting buy side for me, the 936 high. Right here, we already swept this high. Still have this trend line liquidity here. We wicked above it. We have a discount premium that's still intact. Bearish fair value gap right here, paired with that London breaker block. So let's see, maybe we get our 3-minute entry after all. NQ made another higher high. But really, all the chart is telling us right now is don't touch me. What did ICT post? I don't have time to look it up now. I want to focus on yes, if you can share it in here, that would be awesome. Yeah, perfect. E-mini Nasdaq. Looking at the 30-minute, note how we swept the buy side and into the fair value gap. Yep, we swept buy side. I'd prefer the continuation. So we might get the retracement after all. We will see. I try to still frame the long. Could be wrong, but I'm fine. Will we get our entry? 2-minute time frame, 1-minute time frame. Once again, we bounced off the midnight. I don't think he assumes sell side liquidity. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you. Not after this move up. We already cleared previous week's low, previous day's low. We rejected. I think we are starting the retracement, like in the weekly outlook, into FOMC up till here. I'd think you look for a inversion of that 30-minute fair value gap maybe. But I could be wrong. That's just my interpretation. Because in fact that would be a perfect market structure shift here on the 30-minute. Bearish fair value gap, bearish fair value gap. So let me check the 30-minute. Time frame. Didn't manage to get filled. Well, I'm quickly going to the bathroom. We will see if I get filled in the meantime. Go back to NQ on the 5 minute. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm back, and I managed to check out ICT's most recent tweet, and I think he's looking for a 2022 model of this bearish fair value gap here on NQ. Based on that, I think I do not want to fade him. This is the 2022 model he shared on Twitter, and we're starting to see that sell off. Let's see if we can spot one on ES, but we didn't really clear buy side, so it's tough. Nope, not able to spot it on ES. We would have been filled now. But it's the 2022 model that ICT mentioned. We clear buy side. Even right here one more time. Shift market structure right here. Pull back into fair value gap. Continuation over to pick up all these stops. And sort of this little trend line liquidity. So this essentially was what he tweeted. Curious to see if that plays out. Yes, it's just chopping around. I would have been in the long now, but I'm not really confident in it. We have all the sell side to the downside, we have buy side to the upside. No, I'm not liking it. I don't have a 5 minute fair value gap to frame my idea on. ICT is looking for a short on NQ, which is typically not that great for an ES long. So I'm letting my analysis being faded by ICT. That's why I don't look at it. DXY is continuing to sell off, which really could fuel this move to the upside. I don't like all these equal lows here on ES. Right here on this 3-minute fair value gap, but it might be enough. And he also mentioned that he would like to see this fair value gap to act as inversion. Check out the 5-minute on NQ here. Yes, it's looking more bullish again. I don't like these equal lows. I don't like the equal highs. I don't like any of that. That's why I'm not willing to enter at this point in time. I caught this short. I took a small loss right here when I anticipated that this bearish fair value gap is going to deliver into sell side, which is fine with me. He's looking for a short on NQ based on this YouTube model. Which seems to be playing out. Yep. Did anyone take ICT's call? Nice. Well done. I considered it, but at the time I got back, we were already down here, so I'm not the biggest fan of that. But maybe I can somehow... No, I don't like it. I'm not gonna short ES here. ES is not providing the opportunity in my opinion. And Q does. Sell side here. And sell side here. Fair enough. That's a quick scalp. All the wicks to the upside here on the 15. 1 hour chart. Now the indices are doing... Yeah, I like NQ2. I just wanted to see that break on ES. Didn't happen. And I didn't watch. I didn't watch ICT's Twitter. I do not usually watch that at all. I mean, even look at the daily candle right now. It's still nothing's clear. We could pick up some stops to fuel a continuation back up. We managed to close back below midnight. We do not have a single 5-minute fair value gap out of the one that we are in. We're back to the VWAP, start to hold support again. I like this volume imbalance on ES. 3-minute, 5-minute. And I think going to risk it here. If we're going to tap into it, I want to get filled here. DXY is still selling off aggressively, so any euro US dollar, pound US dollar shorts, longs should be playing out very well. I'm not trading forex, and here we get that expansion. Unfortunately, we did not get tapped in on that volume imbalance. Cleared buy side on ES. And I also think that the short from the mentor, I mean, yeah, it already secured a 2 risk to reward, but I do not think it's going to hold up. So we cleared this buy side on ES. Haha, got really close to it, Serb. Watch out.
Order filled.
Alright, we have filled. I do not like that we cleared buy side and I got filled. I forgot about that. So this might have been a turtle soup entry in fact. Cleared buy side, we cleared this high, cleared that trendline liquidity, and now we're retracing into these equal lows. NQ is continuing lower. I'm gonna get out here.
Order filled.
That's not gonna play out. NQ sells off. We cleared buy side. Immediately rejected with a bearish volume imbalance. I forgot to get rid of my short position. Didn't see that. 5-minute time frame. Yes, NQ is dropping.
Order filled.
I'm going to mark it into ES here. This little turtle soup. Silly mistake really here with this volume imbalance. But NQ cleared most of its internal sell side and might continually. Well, it's the mentor, that's why you don't fade him. Silly mistake from my side. Now it's annoying because I switched between charts and I didn't see that ES cleared this buy side. If I wanted to get filled, I would have liked to see the volume imbalance to remain open before we clear buy side, but we managed to clear it. Don't like that. It's a new 50k, 150k account I bought, especially for the live streams. So yeah, I don't mind. This could potentially be the SilverBullet, this bearish fair value gap. We already had this bearish fair value gap, kept holding resistance to deliver lower. Yeah, I know, but I think we're gonna see some more sell side. We cleared most of the buy side, even on ES now. We still have that SMT. We got above this trend line. Cleared buy side here on NQ. Higher high, equalize. $100-point target back to the low of the day. Yep, if you would have held that, that would have been a nice paycheck. Done for the week on Monday. I mean, you could have moved stops just to break even. If you enter with 2 contracts, move on to break even. I think he tweeted that. Yeah, today is Monday, that's correct. Nice. So we do have a tiny little 3-minute fair value gap. Get rid of some stuff here. This could still hold as inversion, to be completely honest. 15,343. Down here. So the 930 low basically.
Order filled.
Got tapped in on this 3-minute bearish fair value gap. Let's wait for this 1-minute candle to close. NQ cleared already internal. DXY keeps on selling off. I don't know, it's very conflicting, having a hard time really here. But it's fine. We closed above this 1 minute, let's see. Also above the 2, also above the 3. We will wait for this close. On the 5, we're still holding the inversion. Yes, ICT's tweet was model 2022. Right here. Very clean. Did you take it, Fresky? I did not. I saw ICT's tweet too late. Awesome. On your funded? Awesome. It's the model, you're right.
Order filled.
Yeah, this one right here. He wanted to see that inversion fair value gap to hold. That was interesting. He wanted to see this inversion fair value gap from the left to hold resistance. Just, I guess, added confluence. I know I've been trying to get something out of ES, but it's clearly not working out. And I think I might just gonna end it here. Back to break even after this short, but it's fine. I didn't see the model, that's the thing. I focused more on ES instead of NQ. And I didn't watch the 1 minute, to be completely honest. I know, but it's alright. It's Monday. So if NQ continues, we would like to see it to continue from this bearish fair value gap. If you secured that 2022 model, done for the day. It's Monday, keep that in mind. Yeah, NQ played much better than ES. Well, happens. We had the retracement. It's almost 11 AM, so that's where I'm going to end it. We are about to hit into the 10:50 to 11:10 macro. ICT tweeted that he wants to see the 9:33 1 minute, 9:33 to act as resistance, contain price and allow it to reprice for 15,343. So he's still looking for shorts. He's basically, if I get rid of this premium discount and this breaker block, what he's looking for is this fair value gap right here to contain price. And the final target would be 3 4 right here, this low from the New York Open. His final target. I don't like this consolidation. I think I'm going to end it here. Back to break even on the account. Unfortunately, I missed that NQ short that ICT called. I hope some of you did. Maybe I'm going to have a Twitter tab open on my other computer, on my other screen. I'm going to cut the position right here.
Order filled.
I don't like this price action on ES. I do not want to be involved anymore. DXY is still selling off. NQ is moving lower. ES is in a trap, basically consolidating. I don't want to be involved, and I'm also going to close my charts for this session. So guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. I think we had some good fun, even though it wasn't the most profitable one for me personally, but that's alright. Yeah, it's 11 AM, I'm fine. I'm gonna leave it here. We're inside the 10:50 macro now. Yeah, that's what ICT outlined. The 2022 model, bearish fair value gap. And this is his final target at 15,343. He wants to see this inversion fair value gap to contain price and then essentially deliver lower into these equal lows. We kept on pushing higher above the London Asia buy side. Then we had this market structure shift, pull back into the fair value gap, continuation lower. And he mentioned it, I think, somewhere around this time. And now it's dropping. Oh. Anyway, guys, I'm done for the day. I do not want to continue. So make sure to trade safe. Take care, and I will see you later this week. Bye, guys.